the concept of the generational differences, it is fascinating to see in the family farm. Son goes to college, maybe goes to Western, gets an ag degree, comes home, and dad doesn't feel like they need to change anything, and son feels like they do. There's definitely stresses and tension for a long time in getting that aired out. And my father and I, when I first moved back, we went through some of that, not as much as we could have, because I wasn't trying to farm full time.
Right.
The main problem, I think, is when you have somebody where you have two generations that are trying to farm full time together. If son has his money and him and his spouse's money involved in the operation, they feel like they demand more input than if they're just working on the weekends with dad or whatever.
I think in many ways it's more stress. It hasn't affected me as much because I always had my own career. And very early on, I did work on the farm. I can sow wheat with the best of them. I can drive a straight truck. Now, tractor trailer truck, I'm not I'm not there. But I could drive a straight truck and tractor, and I could disc and all that. So I did that for a while. But then I went back. I had that basic nursing background, and then I went back to school and pursued my own interests. So it has not affected me as much as it has William.
My father bought a farm that, ironically, he was born on that farm because they were tenant farmers. And so that's the farm that he has. So when my brother, my oldest brother, who's younger than me, but the oldest of the two, when he graduated from Western, he did go back home and he farmed full time with my dad. That was different.
I see some estate planning. I wish I saw more. We have done some estate planning, the Extension Service in conjunction with Farm Bureau. We have put on an estate planning session here about every 5 years. They're always fairly well attended and people follow through. But if you look at the court, at the court news every week in the newspaper, you see that there's a lot more property being probated than what I have attendance at my estate planning workshop. So I think it's something that folks don't want to deal with. They don't want to think about. They want to put it off. And occasionally you see a farm sale simply because of very poor estate planning.
But we recently went through estate planning. We decided to do that because, everybody got real concerned about what laws were going to be passed about, estate taxes and that kind of thing. So we got busy and got that done.
Would you recommend that for all families?
Yes, definitely I would. It is stressful it was for my husband to, they made these entities that own everything, and you no longer, own the property or the farms or whatever, and so it was really hard. Now for Willis, our son, it wasn't, I don't think that stressful for him because it was planning for his future,
But in a sense, it was giving up control.
Somewhat, for William.
When that was done, did it seem to alleviate stress? When it was
all said and done.
So the process was stressful.
The process was stressful. But the end product, I think he always saw the benefit of it. You don't ever want the government to end up with everything you own through taxes, So, and it would make it much easier in the transition when something happens to us, for Willis and the boys. And so I think he always saw the benefit.
Right.
But then and it was an expensive proposition. Estate planning is not cheap.
Not cheap, right.
No, so that was an added stress.